Have you ever wondered why some people smile on the outside but feel completely shattered on the inside? Why a person can have money, success, friends, comfort, and still lie awake at night unable to silence the storm in their heart? Why a believer who prays, fasts, and remembers Allah still sometimes feels overwhelmed, anxious, or broken? We rarely talk about it openly. Yet every one of us carries battles no one else sees. And today, in a world filled with speed, pressure, noise, and constant comparison, a quiet crisis is growing inside the hearts of millions. It is the crisis of the soul, the crisis of the mind, the crisis of emotional exhaustion. Islam does not ignore this. It never has. And today we explore something many Muslims misunderstand, many suffer from, and many need to rediscover: the role of mental health in Islam and how it compares with modern Western approaches. Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers, how are you doing today? Welcome to the path of peace. I pray that the peace of Allah fills your heart at this moment, and whatever heaviness you have been carrying, may Allah make it light for you. You are not here by accident. You are here because Allah guided your heart to this reminder. Mental health. These two words have become some of the most spoken words in our generation. Depression, anxiety, panic disorders, burnout, emotional trauma, loneliness, and the feeling of drowning in silence. These are no longer rare. They are everywhere. Yet many Muslims are afraid to speak about them. Some fear being judged. Others worry that admitting emotional struggles means weak faith. Some think sadness, fear, or mental breakdowns are signs of religious deficiency. But the truth is the opposite. Islam has always acknowledged the human heart, the human mind, the human soul, and the emotional struggles that every believer faces. Islam is not only a religion of laws, it is a religion of mercy, healing, protection, and deep understanding of human psychology. 40% of the Quran addresses the inner state of the heart. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "There is a piece of flesh in the body. If it is sound, the whole body is sound. If it is corrupt, the whole body is corrupt. It is the heart." This shows that the inner state is the root of everything. Western psychology focuses on the mind. Islam focuses on the mind, heart, and soul together. Western approaches treat symptoms. Islam treats the root. Today we explore this difference with honesty, clarity, and deep spiritual reflection. Mental health challenges do not make you less of a believer. They make you human. The Quran itself acknowledges that believers experience fear, sadness, anxiety, grief, and emotional pain. Allah says in the Quran, "We will certainly test you with fear and hunger and loss of wealth, lives, and fruits, and give good news to the patient." This verse reminds us that emotional hardship is not punishment. It is a part of life's journey. The Western approach to mental health often focuses on managing symptoms. Therapy, medication, coping mechanisms, thought restructuring, and emotional processing. These are tools, and some of them are very beneficial, even necessary. Islam never forbids beneficial treatment. In fact, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Seek treatment, for Allah has not sent down a disease except that He sent down a cure." This includes emotional and psychological illnesses. But Islam goes deeper. Islam does not only ask, "How do you feel?" Islam asks, "What is happening inside your heart? What does this pain mean? What is Allah teaching you through this? How can you grow closer to Him through this pain?" Western psychology sees the self at the center. Islam sees Allah as the anchor, the healer, the one who can restore the heart even when no human can. One of the most beautiful verses in the Quran speaks directly to emotional heaviness. Allah says, "Verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest." This is not a poetic phrase. It is a truth. The heart was created by Allah, so the heart finds its calm only by returning to Him. Think about someone who feels completely overwhelmed. Their thoughts spiral, their chest tightens, their mind feels full of noise, pressure, negativity, and fear. In Western therapy, they are taught techniques: breathing, reframing thoughts, grounding themselves. These are helpful. But Islam adds something deeper: surrender to Allah, trust in His wisdom, belief in His mercy, and remembering that nothing happens without purpose. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, himself experienced deep emotional pain. When he lost his beloved wife Khadijah, may Allah be pleased with her, he cried. When he buried his son Ibrahim, may Allah be pleased with him, he cried. He felt sorrow. He felt sadness. He felt grief. But he carried his grief to Allah. When Prophet Yaqub, peace and blessings be upon him, lost his son Yusuf, peace and blessings be upon him, the Quran says, his eyes became white with grief, for he was sorrowful. This is emotional pain. This is intense sadness. Yet Allah did not condemn him. Allah honored him. Islam does not tell you to feel nothing. Islam teaches you to connect your feelings to Allah. Western culture often teaches independence. Islam teaches dependence on Allah and healthy reliance on others. Western culture encourages hiding weakness. Islam encouraged turning your weakness into dua, into humility, and into growth. Let's talk about anxiety. Many people wake up with a pressure in their chest they cannot explain. They walk through the day pretending everything is fine. They smile, talk, work, and appear normal, but inside they are trembling. Islam acknowledges this state. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, gave us powerful du'as specifically for anxiety. He taught companions to say, "O Allah, I seek refuge in you from worry and grief, from incapacity and laziness, from fear and miserliness, from the burden of debt, and from being overpowered by others." This dua alone shows that mental struggles are part of human life. Anxiety, grief, emotional paralysis, fear, feeling stuck. Islam does not dismiss this. Islam treats it. Now imagine someone who has been carrying years of emotional wounds. Maybe from childhood. Maybe from betrayal. Maybe from heartbreak. Maybe from loneliness. Maybe from failure. They learn to hide it so well that even their closest family has no idea. Western psychology might say this person has trauma. Islam says they have a wounded heart that needs healing through both emotional tools and spiritual connection. Consider the story of Maryam, peace and blessings be upon her. When she was alone, giving birth, frightened, in pain, and emotionally overwhelmed, she cried out, "I wish I had died before this." This is a moment of extreme emotional distress. What did Allah do? He comforted her. He spoke to her heart. He told her he was with her. When Prophet Musa, peace and blessings be upon him, fled Egypt, afraid and uncertain, Allah says, he left in fear, looking over his shoulder. This is anxiety. This is the feeling many people experience today. And Allah supported him. When the people of the cave were afraid, Allah said, we strengthened their hearts. This is what Islam offers, strength for the heart. Now let's compare Islam and Western approaches more closely. Western psychology says, you need someone to talk to. Islam says, talk to Allah first, then seek help from people. Western psychology says, you need to understand your thoughts. Islam says, also understand your soul, your purpose, your relationship with Allah. Western psychology says, focus on self-care. Islam says, true self-care begins with caring for your relationship with Allah, your prayer, your heart, your inner peace. Western psychology says, you are enough. Islam says, you are strong because Allah is with you. Western psychology says, you control your destiny. Islam says, your effort matters, but you trust Allah with the results. Western psychology says, happiness comes from within. Islam says, true calm comes from Allah. Both systems can work together, but Islam fills the gaps that modern therapy cannot. Let's reflect for a moment. What is the heaviest thing you are carrying right now? What thought keeps returning to your mind? What fear keeps you awake? What wound have you been hiding from others? What sadness sits quietly in your chest? Islam does not tell you to bury these feelings. Islam tells you to bring them to Allah. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, Allah is gentle and loves gentleness in all things. Imagine that. The one who created the mountains and oceans is gentle with your fragile heart. The one who controls the universe sees your silent tears. One of the most powerful emotional moments in the Sirah is the day of Tafaf, when the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, was insulted, rejected, and attacked by stones until his feet bled. His grief was so deep that he raised his hands and made a dua that shook the heavens. He said, "O Allah, if you are not angry with me, then I do not care." This shows that emotional pain is real, but connection to Allah gives meaning to that pain. Another example, a companion once came to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and said, "I feel something in my heart that is too terrible to speak of," meaning intrusive thoughts, disturbing thoughts, anxiety. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, reassured him, telling him that this was a sign of faith because his heart disliked these thoughts. Islam not only understands mental health, it addresses it with wisdom and compassion. Today, many Muslims think they must choose between Western therapy and Islam, but the truth is you can benefit from both. Islam encourages seeking treatment, but it warns against forgetting the spiritual dimension. A therapist may help you understand your thoughts. Allah heals your heart. Sometimes Allah allows emotional pain to bring you back to Him. Sometimes He allows anxiety to push you toward dua. Sometimes He allows heartbreak to remove someone harmful from your life. Sometimes He allows loneliness to show you that His companionship is enough. Sometimes He allows sadness to soften your heart and make you humble. Pain can be purification. Pain can be protection. Pain can be preparation. Pain can be a path back to Allah. Let's look at real life. Imagine a young man who feels overwhelmed with responsibilities. His job drains him. His family expects too much. His heart feels heavy. He thinks he is failing. He scrolls through social media and compares himself to others. Western psychology might call it burnout. Islam calls it a soul asking for sabr, for patience, for stepping back and reconnecting with Allah. Or a young woman who has been hurt deeply by people she trusted. She feels afraid to open her heart again. She struggles with sadness. She is trying to heal. Islam teaches her that Allah sees every tear and every moment of patience increases her rank. Western psychology encourages emotional boundaries. Islam adds trust in Allah, hope in His mercy, and the strength of dua. Or a man who struggles with intrusive thoughts. Western psychology explains the mind's patterns. Islam reassures him that Allah does not hold him accountable for thoughts he does not act on. Or a person who feels aimless, lost, unsure of their identity. Western psychology may call it an existential crisis. Islam calls it a heart needing purpose, guidance, and connection to revelation. Mental health is not only about healing the mind, it is about healing the heart. Ask yourself, what is the state of your heart today? When was the last time you sat quietly and asked yourself, what is happening inside me? When was the last time you spoke to Allah with complete honesty? Sometimes the most powerful therapy is a sincere dua made with tears. Sometimes the most powerful medicine is the Quran. Sometimes the most powerful relief is knowing that Allah will never burden a soul beyond what it can bear. When Allah says, Allah is with the patient, it means your struggle is seen. When He says, do not despair of the mercy of Allah, it means your future can still be beautiful. When He says, indeed, with hardship comes ease, it means your battle is not permanent. You are not weak for feeling overwhelmed. You are not a bad Muslim for feeling anxious or sad. You are not alone in your struggle. Allah is with you. The Prophet's peace and blessings be upon them knew emotional pain. The best believers felt fear, sadness, loneliness, and heartbreak. What made them special was that they turned to Allah, not away from Him. Your pain is not a sign that Allah abandoned you. Your pain may be the sign that He is calling you back gently, lovingly, patiently. Take care of your mind. Take care of your heart. Take care of your relationship with Allah. Seek help when you need it. Speak to those you trust. Use the tools available in this world, but never forget the healer of the unseen wounds. Never forget the one who can calm a storm with a single word. Oh Allah, you know the pain we hide and the fears we carry. Heal every broken heart. Give peace to every anxious mind. Replace our sadness with hope. Replace our fear with courage. Replace our confusion with clarity. O Allah, strengthen our hearts, protect our souls, and guide us back to you with love and ease. O Allah, make us among those whose hearts find true rest in your remembrance. Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to stay updated with more Islamic content. Like, share, and comment to support our work and spread the message.